It started with a calendar error. Keanu Reeves, beloved action star and famously down-to-earth human, was supposed to be attending a charity gala in Burbank. Instead, thanks to a mix-up from his new assistant and a shared name with a food delivery company, he ended up at a modest home in Echo Park, clutching a large pizza box with a sticker that read, "Extra mushrooms. No olives. Love, Keanu." He was wearing jeans, a faded leather jacket, and a backwards baseball cap. Unshaven, nondescript. No one batted an eye as he stepped out of the black SUV and rang the bell. The door opened to a woman in her early 30s, exhausted, barefoot, and balancing a baby on her hip. "You're early," she said, eyeing the pizza. "And they actually got it right for once. Come in, I'll grab cash." Keanu stood there for a moment, amused and slightly confused. Then curiosity took over. "Sure," he said, stepping inside. The house was warm, cluttered, filled with the kind of chaos only single parenthood could explain. A little boy, maybe 6, raced past wearing a superhero cape. The woman, her name, he'd soon learn, was Danny, returned with a crumpled 20. "I always tip," she said, offering the bill. "You guys deserve it. Some days, this pizza is the only thing that saves my sanity." Keanu handed her the box, smiled, and replied, "This might sound crazy, but I think I'm in the wrong place." She blinked. "You're not from West Coast Pie?" "Nope," he said, lifting the cap to reveal his face fully. "I'm Keanu Reeves." Silence. Then laughter. "Right," she said. "And I'm Beyoncé." "No, really," he added, smiling sheepishly. "I'm an actor. I think my team double-booked me for a promo thing, pizza delivery for charity. But this isn't the right address." Danny stared, really stared. And then, slowly, realization crept in. "Oh my God. You are Keanu Reeves." She nearly dropped the pizza. Keanu caught it with ninja reflexes and chuckled. "Still got it." They both laughed then. Not the polished, publicist-approved laughter of celebrity interviews, but real, belly-deep, what is happening laughter. "Look," he said, "since I'm already here and this pizza's yours, mind if I hang for a bit? My driver's stuck in traffic anyway." Danny blinked again. "You want to hang out here?" "Only if that's okay. I promise I'm good with dishes." The baby let out a gurgling squeal. Danny, in a moment of surreal surrender, nodded. "Sure. Why not? I mean, what else is 2025 gonna throw at me?" And that's how Keanu Reeves found himself in a cozy living room, eating mushroom pizza off paper plates with a single mom named Danny, her superhero-obsessed son Max, and baby Ella, who found his hair endlessly fascinating. As they ate, Keanu asked questions. About her job, nurse, night shift. About Max's school, public, with an inspiring teacher who introduced him to Shakespeare. About her dreams. Once, she wanted to be a photographer. And slowly, Danny relaxed. This wasn't an actor making headlines or promoting a film. This was just a man who knew how to listen. Danny poured 2 glasses of ginger ale and raised an eyebrow. "Sorry, I don't have wine or scotch or whatever actors drink when they accidentally end up in a stranger's house." Keanu raised his glass. "Ginger ale is perfect. I like to keep things carbonated and complicated." She laughed again. Max was now trying to teach Keanu the correct way to tie a superhero cape. "You've got to cross it in front, like this, or else it chokes your neck when you run," he explained, very seriously. "I've done a lot of stunt work," Keanu said, crouching to Max's level, "but this is definitely the most important prep I've ever received." "Do you do your own stunts?" Max asked. Keanu nodded. Most of the time, yeah. But I also listen to the professionals. Like your mom, for example. Being a nurse? Way tougher job. Danny, wiping pizza crumbs off her baby's chin, glanced at him. You're either the most humble celebrity in Hollywood or extremely well-rehearsed. Bit of both, he admitted. But mostly, he paused, searching for the right word. Grateful. The room went quiet for a beat. Ginger ale fizzed softly. Outside, a distant siren wailed. Keanu looked around. You've got a good place here. Lived here long. 8 years, Danny said. Got it just before prices went nuts. It's not glamorous, but it's home. My husband and I bought it when Max was a baby. Keanu nodded. He around. She shook her head, gently. Passed away 3 years ago. Car accident. He didn't respond right away. Just nodded again, slower. Then said, I'm sorry. That's heavy. Life is heavy, Danny replied. But it rolls on. Max keeps me going. Ella keeps me tired. Max piped up. I keep her laughing too. Keanu smiled. You're doing great, man. Max beamed. A phone buzzed on the counter. Keanu checked it. Driver's still stuck. Big wreck on the 101. Might be a while. Danny shrugged. You're welcome to hang out. I mean, unless you have a helicopter on standby. He grinned. Tempting. But I like it here. You've got good pizza and good people. Danny's eyes softened. She reached for a framed photo on the shelf, her husband holding baby Max, both beaming at the camera. I used to think life had a plan, she said quietly. Now I think life is just a series of accidental deliveries. Some wrong doors turn out to be the right ones. Keanu studied her face, her resilience, the quiet strength in her voice. You sound like someone who's been through hell, he said. And still laughs at the punchlines. She chuckled, a little teary-eyed. You'd be surprised what you can survive. I wouldn't, he said gently. Their eyes met, something unspoken passing between them. Max suddenly shouted, Movie time! Mom, can we show him the one with the robot and the sad ending? Wall-E, Danny asked. Yeah, that one. Keanu leaned back. I love that movie. Danny smirked. Of course you do. They dimmed the lights, gathered on the couch, Keanu between Max and Danny, and started the film. Ella curled in Danny's arms, dozing. Keanu, surrounded by pizza crusts and mismatched blankets, looked more at home than he had in weeks. It was weird, unexpected, and somehow, exactly right. About halfway through Wall-E, Max drifted off, sprawled across Keanu's lap like he'd known him for years. Ella was already snoring gently against Danny's shoulder. Danny muted the TV and whispered, Sorry, didn't mean for movie night to turn into Nap Central. Keanu smiled. Best kind of night, honestly. They sat in the low hum of the television's pause screen, the quiet stretching between them not awkward, but easy. Familiar. Keanu leaned back, one arm draped lightly around Max so he wouldn't slip. You know, Danny whispered, most people dream about meeting a celebrity. They picture red carpets or autographs or awkward selfies. But this is the best version, Keanu said. No makeup. No handlers. No fake grins. Just life. She looked at him. Is that rare for you? He nodded. It is. People expect me to be the guy from the screen. John Wick or Neo. But really, I'm just a dude who likes motorcycles, sad music, and tea. Danny grinned. You had me at motorcycles. Keanu raised an eyebrow. You ride. Used to, she said. Before kids. Had an old Yamaha. Sold it when I needed space for a crib. Keanu tilted his head, genuinely intrigued. What was the model? SR 400, she said, a touch of pride in her voice. Kickstart only. Loved that bike. He smiled wide. That's a classic. I had one too. Total beast to start in winter. You get it, she laughed softly, surprised at how easily this conversation flowed. Just then, his phone buzzed again. He glanced at it. Driver's here, he said, not moving. Danny looked at him. You can stay longer, if you want. Keanu hesitated. I should go. I don't want to overstay my mistaken welcome. She stood and walked him to the door, baby still in her arms. Keanu, she said softly, thank you. For just being normal. It's been a long time since someone just showed up without expecting something. He looked down at her, expression unreadable for a moment. Then he reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a small, square envelope. This was supposed to be for the charity event, he said. It's a voucher for a custom-built motorcycle from my shop. Arch Motorcycles. I was going to auction it off, but I think it belongs here more. Danny blinked. What? No, Keanu, I can't. It's not a gift, he interrupted. It's a thank you. For the pizza. And the company. And the reminder that being human is enough. She stared at him. Then slowly took the envelope. Tell Max it's his cape that made the difference, he added with a wink. And with that, he stepped outside. The SUV idled at the curb, headlights cutting through the misty night. Keanu turned once, gave a small wave, then disappeared into the dark. Danny stood there a long time, holding the envelope, the baby, and a new weight in her chest. Not heavy, but warm. A sense that something strange and beautiful had happened. Inside, Max stirred on the couch. Mom, he mumbled sleepily. Yeah, baby. Was that guy a superhero? She looked toward the door and smiled. Maybe. 3 days later, Danny still wasn't sure if it had all been a dream. The envelope sat on the kitchen counter, unopened. She'd Googled Arch Motorcycles, and nearly choked at the prices. The custom bikes weren't just machines, they were rolling art, built for the kind of people who said things like bespoke and track day. Not single moms balancing rent and daycare. She stared at it now, sipping cold coffee as Max ate cereal straight from the box. Is the pizza guy coming back? He asked between bites. Danny smiled. I don't think so, buddy. But he left his ninja coin, Max said, holding up a plastic challenge coin Keanu had slipped him on his way out. It had a stylized K on one side, and the words "Be kind." Always. On the other. She ruffled his hair. Maybe we'll write him a thank you letter. Max nodded. Can I draw a motorcycle? Definitely. Later that night, after the kids were asleep, Danny finally opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. Danny, this wasn't part of any plan. But maybe that's the point. I'd like to invite you to Arch. No press. No PR. Just a ride. You tell me what kind of bike you miss, and we'll build it. No charge. Consider it life delivering something back. Be well. Ride safe. Keanu. Tears welled in her eyes. Not because of the bike, but because someone had seen her, not as a charity case or as a strong mom, but as a person. A woman who once dreamed of highways and wind and freedom. That weekend, with her sister watching the kids, Danny took a train to Hawthorne, where the art shop stood like a metal cathedral. Keanu met her outside, wearing a grease-stained hoodie and smiling like a mechanic, not a movie star. "You came," he said. She laughed. Was I supposed to ignore a golden ticket? Inside, the shop smelled like oil, leather, and potential. Sleek machines lined the walls, some futuristic, some vintage-inspired. Danny ran her hand along the tank of a matte black build. "She's beautiful," she murmured. "She could be yours," Keanu said. "Or we can design something from scratch." Danny hesitated. "Keanu, I'm not, this is incredible, but I don't want to be a story on your website." He held up a hand. "This isn't for the website. This is because one night, I ended up in the right house by mistake, and it reminded me that kindness doesn't need a spotlight." She looked at him. "No strings?" she asked. "Only handlebars," he said. She laughed so hard she nearly cried. Over the next 2 months, Danny found herself visiting the art shop every other weekend. She was there not as a fan or a charity recipient, but as a collaborator. They sketched designs together, talked fuel efficiency, suspension tuning, and the philosophy of curves. Keanu listened intently, offered insights, and asked for hers with genuine interest. The team treated her like one of their own. For the first time in years, Danny wasn't just surviving, she was dreaming again. They named the bike the Echo, after her neighborhood. Built with a steel gray tank, rose gold accents, and hand-stitched leather seats. A Yamaha SR 400 sole wrapped in arch bones. When the day came to unveil it, Danny brought Max and Ella to the shop. Max ran straight to Keanu. "Is it finished?" he yelled. Keanu bent down to whisper. "She's purring." "You wanna hear her growl?" Max's eyes widened. "Yeah." The shop rolled up its bay doors, and there it was, the Echo gleaming under soft shop lights. Danny couldn't speak. Her fingers touched the seat, the handlebars, the etched plate that read, "Ride for the moments you forgot were possible." Keanu handed her the key. "Want to take her for a spin?" Danny hesitated, glancing at her kids. "I've got them," said Keanu gently. "You've got 10 minutes of road with your name on it." The engine roared to life with a low, comforting growl. Danny pulled on a borrowed helmet, slid onto the seat, and kicked off. For the first time in years, wind kissed her face at 60 miles per hour. The streets blurred. Worries evaporated. She didn't feel like a widow or a tired nurse or a mom trying to make ends meet. She felt like Danny. When she returned, Keanu was sitting on the curb with Max asleep against his shoulder, Ella chewing on his hoodie drawstring. "You're dangerous," she said, pulling off her helmet. "You show up in someone's life and suddenly they remember what joy feels like." He smiled. "Then I'm glad the pizza was mis-delivered." She sat beside him. For a long time, they just watched the sun sink behind the LA skyline. "Are you going to disappear now?" she asked. He turned to her. "Maybe. But I think some deliveries are meant to arrive twice." She smirked. Cryptic. "I'm working on mysterious." They both laughed, the kind that came easy now. A week later, a new photo hung above Danny's fireplace, her and Max beside the Echo, Ella in Keanu's arms, all of them smiling like they'd known each other forever. And in the corner, taped to the frame, was Max's hand-drawn thank you letter, in crooked handwriting. "Dear Mr. Pizza Guy, thank you for the motorcycle. But thank you more for making my mom smile." Sometimes, the best deliveries come by mistake. And some stars don't shine from billboards or premieres. They shine in living rooms.